I'm Father Robert Ballister, the digital Jesuit host of This Week in Enterprise Tech here at Enterprise Connect 2017 in Orlando, Florida. I'm speaking with Mark Roberts from ShoreTel, who's got, well, the good news about being connected. Mark, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you for taking the time.
Now, what is ShoreTel doing at EC 2017?
Well, actually, we come here for a variety of reasons, and part of it is primarily it's for customers, either existing customers or new customer. Historically, it's been a very, very good lead acquisition event for us, but it's also become the industry event too, and it's just great to catch up with everybody in the event, listen to some of the breakouts that are going on, and hear some of the thought leadership that's happening in the industry. So I personally find it very, very useful just being able to spend some time talking to other thought leaders in the industry and really figuring out what's going on for the next year.
It's been a very interesting few years in UC.
Yes, it has.
Everything from advancements in technology to the explosion of the cloud and everything as a service. How has ShoreTel navigated those changes?
Well, we've come from, so ShoreTel is 20 years old. We were 20 years old September last year, and we came from a product heritage. We're used to making boxes and phones and working in that world, so an on-prem environment. And we started to make that transition over to cloud around about 3-4 years ago. And it's been an interesting journey. And what we're finding as you go through this is, whilst it's difficult for a manufacturer, a vendor to make that, it's very, very difficult for the channels to do that. And equally so, some of the customer base is confused. So we took probably a slightly different tack to most companies, in that we took the view that the most important aspect, the most single thing that we need to focus on is that user experience. And it needs to be the same for cloud, premise, or if you mix and match it, a hybrid approach. So the IT department has got the flexibility to choose that deployment model that makes sense for them. You can decide to stay on-prem today and then move to cloud later, but you don't disturb any of your users, which is, when we speak to IT directors, that's really the number one issue that's on their mind, how they make that transition, what the disturbance is going to be to the company, and how do they actually minimize that.
When ShoreTel designs a new solution, a new integration, what are the things that need to be thought of before everything else, before any of the technology is put into play?
Well, we're the brilliantly simple guys, so we focus on making it simple. But it's actually really complicated to make things simple. They're counterintuitive. But really where we've started to focus over the last few years is on interactions. So it's business communications, but it's all really about how we interact. So we focus on making those interactions simple and work through those stories in a variety of different ways. For example, here at Enterprise Connect, we're announcing Teamworks, which is a work group, a collaboration solution. But there's also a few demos. If you manage to stop by the booth, 1611, I believe is our booth number. It gives you the idea and the concept of it being more than just an IM and a place to hold files and start a phone conversation. It's almost becoming a digital assistant. And so, for example, one of the demos we've got, it allows you to easily and simply start a conference just by tapping your mobile phone on or your cell phone, sorry, in America, on the conference phone, and because it knows who you are, it will automatically start that conference. We then listen in the background for any time somebody says, take an action item. And we then record that, transcribe it, and also publish it back into the application, so you've got the action items from the meeting notes. It's part of that brilliantly simple ethos, which is really how ShoreTel was founded. It's just part of our DNA. You hear that term all the time around ShoreTel. It's like, how can we make it simpler? How can we make it easier? And it's really that thought of how you do that and how we then enable our customers for their customers to have much simpler interactions and therefore ideally grow their business.
Mark, give me your elevator pitch. You've got 10 seconds to speak to an executive and explain to him or her why ShoreTel is the way they should go, why ShoreTel is the solution that they should consider in their upgrade, in their deployment.
I'm going to cheat on this. I'm going to say you're an IT director because we have very different conversations. Point being, if you're in that CPaaS conversation, it's probably a line of business or even a CEO who is frustrated with the kind of interactions that are taking place and wants to make those better, simpler, faster, more effective for the company. So that would be an ease conversation in the elevator. But if you're talking to the IT guy, it's real simple. We've got one platform, one code base, one user experience. We deliver it in two ways, either cloud or on-site. And as an IT guy, you can deploy it in one of three: cloud, prem, or mix and match hybrid. Take your applications from the cloud, operate it on-site. Real simple, real easy, lowest risk approach to the cloud.
Mark, thank you very much for sharing your time with us and sharing your technology. Could you please tell the audience where they can find more about ShoreTel in case they can't make it out to the show?
Absolutely, www.shoretel.com, and scoot around the site, you'll find out everything you need to know.
Thank you again for your time, and thank you for joining us. Be sure to stay tabbed because we've got more from Enterprise Connect 2017.